Okay, so, yep. So, we are going to focus, let's start with our introduction, okay? All right. Can you read the question, please, for us, Fahima?
The chart shows the regional recycling rates in 3 countries from 2005 to 2015.
Okay. So you can see here that we're talking about the regional, it says regional recycling rates, okay? So we're going to start, we're going to rephrase that question. All right, 1 second here. Okay, put this one here. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so the line graph provides statistical information regarding the, looks like percentages. The proportion of household recycling in 3, looks like developed nations. Developed nations between 2005 and 2015. Okay. So the line graph provides statistical information regarding, that's our structure. So the proportion of household recycling in 3 developed nations, okay? They're developed between 2005 and 2015. Any questions about that?
No.
Okay. So next, an overview of the data indicates that. So remember, this sentence here is the general overview. We just want to say something that we see in general. Well, here it looks like it's increasing, right? UK, Germany, France, decreasing. So I think the better to say is to see if there are many changes. So there had been changes. Or we can say some increase, some decreased, okay?
We
I'm
can
gonna
say fluctuations.
Just
watch.
French.
I kind of just see increase here and increase here. Only France had fluctuated. So it doesn't get the whole graph,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Uh-huh.
So I think it's better just to say here that there had been
Some change.
much
Variations.
variation in the recycling rates of these nations during that period. Okay. So there had been much variation, okay? In the recycling rate of these nations during that period.
We can use here over 10 years.
You can
Or
say
over
over the 10 years, yeah. Most important here is the had been.
Yeah.
Past perfect, okay? We have past perfect because it's in the past. Okay. Any questions?
No, thank
No.
you.
So, like we said over here, let's look at our graph in our other page. Okay. We need to, well, let's look at our guide. We should try to write about the first year and the second year. Okay.
Okay.
That's how we're going to divide our writing. So we're definitely going to mention this year
2005.
and this for sure.
Yeah.
Now, between 2007, 9, 11, and 13, what seems interesting?
2009.
Okay, so Andrew said to 2013. Why 2013, Andrew?
Because France's rate of recycling was decreasing until 2013 and started to increase.
Okay, so we definitely need to mention that. I think so. What about 2009, Michelin? Why?
Because it looked like all of them, they had almost 40%.
Good point. So I'm definitely going to mention those two things, but I think that between the years, maybe I'm going to mention this here, but I'm probably going to say something about 2009 for sure, but only like one sentence. Okay?
Okay.
I have a question, please.
Yeah.
What can you say if we say we can talk about 2011 because of UK position at 2011? What do you think about it?
I would say it's not so important there.
Okay.
I mean, it's increasing and it's going up, but here it reached the highest point up here.
Okay.
So there's nothing difference between here and here. Okay?
Okay.
So let's start by writing these in order from highest to lowest. Talking about 2005. Any other questions?
No.
So let's do that. To specify in, oh, 1 second. 2005. France, right? France was the highest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second was the UK. And last was Germany. Where's your jacket? Be careful.
Summertime.
Be careful. Any questions? Maybe if you have time tomorrow after class, we can talk.
Perfect.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. So. Yeah, I know he's not wearing a dress. Strikingly, France had the highest rate of household recycling at 50%. Okay? Now this seems to be 3550. Definitely higher. How much higher? Which was how much higher? 15%?
15 for
Yeah, I think
said the highest rate,
60.
Is it marginally, moderately, significantly?
I think it's moderately.
that
Good.
2 times the 2 times Germany, one almost.
With looks like approximately 35%. And we can compare it to the next one, 20. And significantly greater than Germany. Mm. Okay. All right. So, to specify in 2005 strikingly is our first connector. France had the highest rates of household recycling at 50%. Now we connect that to the second, okay? Which was moderately higher than is our comparative. The UK's percentage with approximately 35%. That wasn't exact. And significantly greater than Germany. Significantly greater than is our connector. Oh, sorry, comparative. Germany's proportion of 20%. So you see how we put it all together there in one nice academic sentence. Comparing in between. This one's the highest, it's moderately higher than this one, and significantly greater than this one. Any questions about that?
Nope.
No. Perfect. Interestingly is the next point we want to say. I'm going to mention here about 2009. In 2009, all countries appeared to be within range of 40%. So all countries appear to be within range of 40%. Well, that's our comparative here. So, but let's say, however,
Bien. Sonia.
mhm. However, Germany and Britain had increased while France had decreased. So had increased, had decreased. So that's the only thing I'm going to say. Remember this about 2009 right here. You see they all seem to be within range of 40%. Maybe better to put around, yeah, no, it's 2009. Any questions about that? So again, what I did here was talk about the first year, then I looked forward to 2009. Now I'm going to get to 2015, which is important.
One question, please.
Yes?
As you talk about 2009, saying that all those countries appear to be there, to have the same range of something like that, but the way you are talking, you are saying that the range of 40%, however, Germany and Britain had increasing while they are increasing. So that means, for me, it look like at the same time, the same year. But in the after that time, we can see the increasing or the decrease appear, you know. So I don't know, but for me, it look like as we are talking about 2009, that saying that it's appear a increase and decrease. It look like it's already engaged, you know. But we are just talking for 1 point. What do you think about it?
Okay, so I said they are here, and I said the UK had increased to there, Germany had increased, France had decreased, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
just the
now,
past.
yeah.
Okay.
So now, let's get to the last year. When we talk about the last year, what should I mention first?
Maybe UK.
So I
The
would
big-
say
The big
no,
change,
not the UK.
Or France.
And Mabel, what was that?
you should mention about the big change.
So which one? Right, we should talk about changes. Biggest changes. So which one is the biggest change here? Looks like Germany, right?
Germany.
Yeah.
Germany almost 3 times to 60. While
Something.
here significantly, okay? And then also a big decrease. Okay, so let's say that first. Comparatively, by 2015, remarkably. That's a connector, so it should be in blue. Germany's rate of household recycling had continued to surge and nearly reached 60%. Which, well, I'm saying had continued to surge because I mentioned it here, 40%. Okay?
Okay.
Which was almost, no. Let's put, which represented a nearly 3-fold increment from 2005. Uh, okay. So Germany's rate of household recycling had continued to surge. Surge means increase a lot. And nearly reached 60%, which represented I want to change this to an almost.
Good.
I don't like that. And almost threefold increment. From 2005. So you see, I said it nearly reached 60%, as you can see up here, almost 60, which is almost
Mm-hmm.
threefold. Right, Andrew?
Got me?
Oh, Andrew. Just kidding. It's okay. He has his iPad, his cell phone, the class, everything in here. Everything. Okay. Got it? Threefold? What does threefold mean?
3 times.
3 times. Okay. See, he knows this. Any questions about this sentence?
No.
So let's mention now about France, because we want to contrast here. Let's say, on the other hand, France's proportion had marginally rebounded to modestly, let's say modestly. To 40%, to just below 40%. After dropping to its lowest point level of 30% in 2013. Okay, so we're saying here, on the other hand, the connector, France's proportion had modestly rebounded. Rebounded, who wants to explain what does rebounded mean here?
Big change.
Big change, more specifically?
To like increasing suddenly.
No, somebody else?
Oh, decrease.
Somebody else, please? No, I said that one. So, rebounded means, oh, Andrew wants to say again. Yes?
It increased after a drop.
Okay, yes. It increases after dropping. So down and then up. That's what rebound means. After dropping, it's increased.
Rebondir.
So it says, on the other hand, Francis proportion, so it rebounded to just below 40% after it had dropped to its lowest level of 30% in 2013. So you see it went down and then up. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions about that one?
No.
No, good. Let's see the last one. It is worth noting that the UK's had to gradually climb um, I think its biggest rise was right here. 15% right there. Mhm. To just over 60%. And become the top. And
So you're not gonna say a steeper curve between 2009 and 2010.
no, had continued to gradually climb. I'm going to say here. So 2009, it took over the top spot. Yeah. After rising by 15%. In 2011. Between 2009 and 2011. And had taken over the top spot. And then I'll put here just over 60%. Okay. So let's see the sentence. It is worth noting that the UK's percentage had continued to gradually climb after, so I'm talking that it's climbing after rising by 15% between 2009 and 2011. So I'm capturing more importantly here. So I said here it climbed by 15% and then gradually climbing. Okay? All right, I was going to put in here by approximate, by roughly in here. Okay. Any questions about that one?
Gradually, it was nothing that percentages continue to gradually climb afterwards.
And we said as well that it took over the top spot, so that is important there.
Roughly.
Okay. So that concludes that second paragraph where we talked about changes. Now we're going to get to the summary. We can ascertain that. Household recycling had become more popular in Germany and the UK. Okay. But it had experienced fluctuation in France. Okay. Very general here. I didn't see anything very. So have become more popular for sure in Germany and France and the UK, I mean. But Or, well, let's say, not use but here. In contrast, better. Andrew was looking at me like, why are you using that word? Wow. Too simple. Or it had fluctuated as well. We don't need to say fluctuation. It had fluctuated. Or, yeah, let's change that to better. Easier to say. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't really see any other trends in here. I don't know. More popular, fluctuation. Good. So let's review. Go ahead, Michelin.
The line graph provides statistical information regarding the proportion of household recycling in 3 developed nations between 2005 and 2015.
Okay, good. So that's the intro. Next, Mabel.
An overview of the data indicates that there had been much variation in the recycling rates of this nation during that period.
Okay, good. Now we're going to get to the first paragraph. We said the first year. Okay, Fahima. To specify. Fahima.
Oh,
Maybe she stepped out for a second. Go ahead, Andrew.
yeah, maybe.
Spotify in 2005, strikingly, France had the highest rate of household recycling at 50%, which was moderately higher than UK's percentage, with approximately 35%, and significantly greater than Germany's proportion at 20%.
Okay, so we compared the first year all in order in one sentence. Okay, good. Next, we're going to talk about the comparison to the other one. Fahima, are you back yet?
So this is supposed to be the second paragraph?
No, this is the first paragraph.
So
Oh, well, I mean, intro and then first, yeah.
okay, when the second will start then? Because in the first one,
Second starts with the second.
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Fahima, are you back so you can read interestingly? Fahima? Okay, maybe she's busy. All right, go ahead, Michelin, interestingly.
Interestingly, in all countries appear to be within range of 40%. However, Germany and Britain had increased while France had decreased.
So that one was here. All right, so now, and that's one paragraph. Now we're getting to the last year. Okay?
Mm.
So go ahead. comparatively. Go ahead, Mabel.
Comparatively, by 2015, remarkably, Germany's rate of household recycling had continued to surge and nearly reached 60%, which represents an almost threefold increment from 2005.
Good. Now we're going to compare that to France. Go ahead, Andrew.
On the other hand, France's proportion had modestly rebounded to just below 40% after dropping to its lowest level of 30% in 2013.
Okay. Dropping to its lowest level of 30% in 2013. So that was France. And then we talked about Britain. Okay, go ahead, Michelet.
It is worth noting that the UK's percentage had continued to gradually climb after rising by roughly 15% between 2009 and 2011 and had taken over the top spot just over 60%.
Okay. Good. What about Fahima? Is she good?
Yeah. Sorry, I was to something. Sorry.
No problem. Okay. Fahima, read the last part for us.
Okay, to sum up from this graph, we can ascertain that household recycling has become more popular in Germany and the UK. On contrast, it had fluctuated in France.
Good. Any final questions about this task, line graphs? Okay, then. So we can look here at our homework, which is on page 49. So again, we should talk about 1975. And definitely we have to talk about 2000, right? What are some interesting points? 1985 and around 1990. So you should mention those somewhere, probably in the first paragraph after 1975. This one, well, this one both, they had continued the same here, look. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so now when you can start working on that one. What do we have here? And you can also start working on page 53 and 50. You can start working 53 to 55. I'm not sure we're going to do it tomorrow, but for sure on Friday we're going to review it. Because tomorrow we should write our essay as to. But you can start working on 53 to 55. Okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
About psychologist in the building or what?
No, this one 53, Fahima. 53. This one. About housing.
The house of the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay? And
Okay.
also if you want, no, it's okay for now. I'll post some listening, but I will post this listening. If you want, if you have
Yes.
time, start working on 64 and 65.
Oh.
Only if you